Okay, so let's work on some examples. Here you can see I've taken one example. This is the signal flow graph given. R to C. These are the corresponding gains. You have to find C by R, which is the transfer function. So we know from Mison's formula that T is equal to summation K equal to 1 to B Pk del Q divided by del. So my B is here equal to 2. You can see from here R 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 C, that is one path. R 1, 5, 1 C, that is the second path. B equal to 2, path 1, path 2. Okay. Now we will write the loop gains PKs. P1 is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and P2 is equal to 1, 5, 1. So we are done with B, Pk. Now we will see how many loops are there. See, here I have drawn the loops. My L1 is 2 and minus 1. This is 2 and minus 1. This is one loop. My next loop is 3 minus 1. 3 minus 1. Third loop is 4 minus 1. 4 minus 1. Now if you will watch carefully, you will have one more loop, a bigger loop. 5 minus 1 minus 1 minus 1. You started from this node, you again came back to same node, covered other nodes once, other branches once. Okay, so this is my loop 4. 5 minus 1 minus 1 minus 1. These are my 4 loops. These are the values, loop gains. Minus 1 into 2, L2 is equal to minus 1 into 3, L3 is equal to minus 1 into 4. One minute. I think we lost focus. No, that's better. So I told you about loops, loop gains. So now we will calculate the delta because we have loop gains. 1 minus L1, L2, L3, L4, these are the individual loop gains, plus L1, L3. If you will watch carefully here, these 1, 2, 3 and bigger is 4 loops. Now I have L1 and L3, this one and this one. These two are non-touching because of no branch and no nodes are common to each other. That is why these L1 and L3, these both are non-touching. That is why this term L1, L3 will come here. So I have delta with me now. Now we will see delta K. If you will see here carefully, non-touching part, we had these two for non-touching here. So we already wrote here L1, L3. My delta 1 and delta 2 is delta 1 is corresponding to this graph, delta 2 is corresponding to this graph. You can see in either of them there is one loop possible in this one and there is no loop possible in this. You can see 3 minus 1, this is L2, this is there when I will remove path 2. If I remove path 1, no loops are there. That is why we will have delta 1 is equal to 1, delta 2 is equal to 1 minus L2. Now we have all the terms. We will plug into the values. P1 del 1, P2 del 2 divided by del, because branches are 2. I'll write the value 24 into 1, since we have this value 24, into delta 1 is 1, plus 5 into 1 plus 3, 5 into 1 plus 3, because L2 is my minus 3. divide by 1 minus individual loop gains, which is L1, L2, L3, L4 plus L1, L3. So you can see here C by R is given as 24 plus 5 into 4 divided by 1 plus 14 plus 8, that is equal to 44 divided by 23. This is my answer. This is my transfer function C by R for this signal flow graph. So you can see how you can calculate easily by using Mason's gain formula, and I think you should be capable enough of doing questions on your own. I'll take one more example for your confidence, but this time, 1 minute, I'll do something. This time I want you to solve on your own first. So this is your question. This is the signal flow graph given. Corresponding nodes are given and the arrows of the gains are given. It is given that SFG has m number of forward paths and p number of individual loops. You have to calculate what is m and what is p. What is m and what is p? I'll suggest you guys to do on your own this problem. I don't know why I'm losing this autofocus. 1 minute. Yeah. Ooh. There's some sort of problem, I guess. Sorry for this autofocus thing. I don't know why it's happening now. Okay. So we have this question. You should take 5 or take 10 minutes or something. Just try to figure out on your own. This is pretty easy, but it requires attention of calculating forward paths and loops. You can miss out some loop and you can miss out some forward path. So pause the video and try on your own for 5-10 minutes and then look for answer. So I assume you tried it, so I'll go for solution now. Okay, so tada. Okay, so now you can see m is the total number of forward paths. Here I mentioned forward paths with p subscripts, and later on I shown the loops, individual loops. So when you will see p1, it goes from first p path, it goes from p a b t s c, r a b t s c. This is my one path. Second path, r a p q s c, r a p q s c. It's my second path. p3, r a b q s c, r a b q s c. My fourth part, r a p t s c. This one. My fifth part, this is more important, r a b q, r a b q, p t s c. Again, r a p q, p t s c. Remember, this is T. Sorry for my mistake. This is this node T. Now the last path, P6, R A P T B Q S C. This last path. So you can see there are total 6 number of forward paths. so my m will be equal to 6. Now if you will see L1, there are 3 loops total. L1 is BTB, BTB, then you have L2 is equal to PQB, that is PQB, and the last one is L3 PTBQP, PTBQP. It's like an 8. Now remember, in the question he asked number of individual loops. You don't have to show the non-touching loops. These are non-touching loops. You can see this is one loop, this is one loop, this 8 is one loop, but these 2 loops are touching with 8 loop, big 8 loop, but individually they both are not touching. PQP and BTP. So you don't have to mention non-touching loops here because he didn't ask for it, individual loops. My finally answer will be m equal to 6 and p equal to 3. So from this question I wanted you to just figure out what are the forward paths and individual loop paths. How a question can be like tricky. This question will be for a normal student, one can find P1 to P4 easily, but some students will miss P5, P6, or some students can also even take non-touching loops. So it's kind of tricky question, that's why I included. This question I included just for your practice, so that you can practice enough. And my third question will be, again, see, this is my third question, just for your example, just for your practice. But what I want you to do in this example is, instead of writing all the loops and drawing all the loops for del and drawing all the loops for del k, you should directly follow this procedure. What I mean is, you have this signal flow graph, you have to find y by u, okay, which is the transfer function t. We are using Mason's gain formula again. See here, b is equal to 2 again. This is my first path, this is my second path through 1. So we have p1 is equal to directly 1 by s square I wrote. See here, 1 into 1 by s into 1 by s into 1. So directly I wrote 1 by s square. I don't want to waste time, like, it should be like this. P2 will be 1 by s. 1 by s, 1 by s. No need to write all the equation like 1 into 1 by s into 1 by s into directly. This much calculation you can do it on your own. Here you will see I wrote L1, which is this loop, this bigger loop, that is minus 2 by s square. Then I wrote this loop L2 minus 2 by s, see. Then I wrote third loop, which is minus 4 by s, this one. Then I wrote fourth loop, which is this circle, 1 and minus 4. So all the 4 loops I wrote separately. Paths I wrote separately, path gains. I have delta now. For delta I wrote loops, I just drawn loops separately, but still you have L1, L3, L2, L4 written here. So you can directly write here 1 minus sum of the individual loop gains plus 0, because there are no non-touching loops, because either of here if you will see, this node is common to all of the loops, that is why all are touching. Now when you will calculate delta k, delta 1 and delta 2 both are 1, because if you will remove this path or either this path, you will remove this node, and because of this no loop will be remaining. So that is why directly del 1 and del 2 will come as 1. You plug the values, 1 by s square from here, 1 from here, 1 by s from here, 1 from here and del from here. You'll get s plus 1 divided by 5s square plus 6s plus 2. One minute, I'm losing autofocus, I guess. Now it's correct, I guess. So you can see how this is coming directly just by following this process. Okay, here this process was enough to write the transfer function of the given SFG. Whenever you are in doubt, then only you should draw these stuff. Like I wrote L1, L2, L3, L4 and this two just to calculate delta. Here you can see there are no loops forming. These two nodes are not there. So this also you can do, but I will suggest you write in this process, because you can't draw all the time these stuff. You should calculate in your mind the loop gains, non-touching. You should see all this stuff by practice. And sometimes what happens that if the question are very easy, I will see the SFG and I'll directly put the values here. Means if a good student which is in practice of signal flow graph, he can do something like this. But initially, in initial stage, you should not do such a thing, because there are chances of making an error. So it's better you should stick with this much information and write like this. When you are in practice, very good practice, then you should directly jump to this point. And if you find very difficult, like complicated kind of problems, complicated SFGs, then you should write, means like draw all these loops and all, just to make it sure, because ultimately we want to be correct rather than solving fast. So that is the method I wanted to point you out. So in the next example, I will show you how directly you will write. I won't draw the loops. In this example, you can see I have not drawn the loops. I directly wrote the p's, dels and del k's. In maximum scenario, I will write this, else I will put the direct values here and here. You can see this is one example. Same thing, we have to find C by R. B is equal to 2. This is one path and this is one path. So we have two paths, P1 and P2. You will directly write G1, G2, G3, G1, G2, G3 from this row, G4 from this path. Now you have L1, L2, L3, L4, L5 loops. Loops you should see, means you should focus more on loops, because there means a student will only make mistakes when he or she counts loops or non-touching loops. So you better should write these loops. If you are in very good practice, then only I'll suggest you to skip this part. So see, this is one loop, L1. This is one loop, L2. This is one loop, L3. This is one loop, L4. Then this is one loop. I hope you got it. I've written L1, L2, L3, L4, L5 here. G1, H1, G1, H1, G1, G2, H2, G1, G2, H2, G2, G3, H3, G2, G3, H3, G4, H3, H1, G4, H3, H1. Then last G4, G2, G4, H3, G2, H2, G4, H3, G2, H2. I am done with everything. I'll directly write delta, which is same thing. We know that there are no non-touching loops, because this and this nodes will be gone if you will remove either of the paths, and all the loops are connected to these two nodes, so there are no probability of non-touching loops. You will find delta, you have delta here, you have del k is here 1 1, because if you will remove path there are no loops remaining. You will plug the values here, delta g p1 p2 del 1 del 2 here, you will get the answer. So you can see there is no need to draw all the loops, all the non-touching loops. You should be writing those stuff whenever you are not sure about the answer. Else I will suggest directly try to be in practice, like you can directly write the transfer function. This will be helpful to you when you are dealing with objective type questions. The procedure will be same. There are chances of miscalculation, but you have to save time as well. So the best way is to write this in this manner: B, P case, loops, del case, then T. It will take 1 or 2 minutes extra, but it will lead you to a correct answer. So yeah, that is what I wanted to mention in these slides, and I hope you have gained some confidence and you are now equipped with all the techniques. So I think you should be solving on your own, and try as many problems as you can so that you won't miss out loops, non-touching loops and all, and you can directly write the transfer function so that. And what I'll do next is I will cover some of the exceptions in Mason's-Gain formula. There are some of the SFGs you have to deal with separately, means like you have to apply some technique to write the transfer function of those SFGs. I will cover those exceptions in the next part. Meanwhile, I think I've given enough examples so that you can practice on your own, and I think this will be the basic stuff of SFG and writing the transfer function and all. So yeah.